Hi guys, welcome to another video from Oscar Cooper. Today we're going to be putting Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 against each other. Now this is going to be quite difficult. They are both visually quite different games, but there are some similarities with their mechanics. They're both huge AAA titles, they both have very strong multiplayer aspects to them, and they both boast having a single player campaign. Now there are some minor differences. There may be some pluses that you feel are applicable to you. I'm going to give you some advice on which way to go if you're looking to only purchase one. So yeah, hold on to your hats guys, this is going to be quite an intense one. Talking of intensity, and the state of my hard drive is giving me a right headache, and I do actually look at the size of the games at the moment. Now 34GB for Titanfall 2, but 49GB for Battlefield 1. The smaller a game, the more of a plus that is for me. It's not going to swing my buying decision, of course.
Wilson said I was a no-good, lying son of a bitch.
So let's start with the single player campaigns. I'm going to go to Battlefield 1 first. As you can see here, it's called War Story, so it's broken down into characters, locations, and sort of 5 sections of 5 which act as levels. Now there's quite a lot of content here, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. It's really lavishly done, and it tells some quite heartbreaking stories about these individuals. It gives you a real insight to how horrific this war actually was. Pretty intense. Each campaign has this really sort of in-depth backstory about an individual. It's quite cool. You get quite a lot of really lush, high-quality cutscenes telling you and giving you some story behind the character that you're playing for that particular campaign section. And one of the things to look out for straight away with Battlefield 1 is its beautiful graphics. It is a stunning-looking game. They really have done an incredible job with draw distances, smoke, and weather effects. It's absolutely beautiful. But the major selling point for me is the fact that you get to go to all these different environments. There's desert, there's forest, there's town, there's built up, there's barren. It's brilliant when it comes to massive amount of variety on your environments. This is a clip from the desert section here, and of course the huge selling point for all of the Battlefield series is the vehicles. The vehicles in this game are so visceral and sort of dirty and loud, and they all have a really amazing angle of the war about them. You know, they're battered, they're clanky. It's absolutely awesome. The tank missions, which you get early on in the campaign, are a really good way to sort of feel around. But what I'm also enjoying is some of the aviation missions. Just look how fantastic this sun and these planes look. Dogfighting in the air is so much fun, and it's simple. It's not complicated. You have a throttle button and you have a sort of trigger for your fire, but you can sort of loop round and figure of 8 and get behind the enemies. It's an incredible amount of fun, really well done. You also got some horses thrown in. This is a bit strange, but it does work quite well actually. You got a bit of a Witcher nod here. I had to get it in. But yeah, really good variety on vehicles. Very good sort of aesthetics on all the individual vehicles themselves, and they've done the planes justice with this one. Let's not forget the actual foot soldier gunplay, and this does perform extremely well. Destructible environments, one of the major selling points of the whole series, but the flames, the explosions, the intensity, the sound, and the actual horror of this war itself really powers home. An incredible campaign, to be honest with you.
Operation. We are going down. Repeat, we are going down. Mark that move on. I'm seeing a ton of anti-orbital defenses. None of them will decompression on deck. 5 to 9. All hands abandon ship. All hands abandon. Get to the lifeboat. We're going down. We're going down. This is the MCS James McCallum. We are going down. I repeat, we are going down. They're jamming us hard. We're not getting through.
Okay, so onto the Titanfall 2 campaign. Now, you probably know that Titanfall 1 didn't have a single player campaign, and one of the major sort of areas that I was interested in was what they were going to do with Titanfall 2 and its promise of a single player campaign. And to tell you the truth, I was thinking, oof, this is just going to be like a tutorial for the multiplayer, you know, because the Titanfall series has traditionally focused on, you know, big online multiplayer matches, etc., and a multiplayer only experience. But to tell you what, I am extremely pleasantly surprised. Not only does this campaign look beautiful, it plays extremely well. There's a pretty cool story where you find your Titan, where you sort of get passed down a particular Titan, you get separated, you guys have to sort of duke it out, fight it out, get back together, get batteries and get it powered up, and there's conversations and really cool interaction between the two of you. I'm actually very, very impressed with the campaign on this game. You're also on a sort of alien planet with alien monsters on it, which is a really cool idea. I think the planet's called Titan, don't quote me on that, but they haven't held back with the visuals and the environments, and of course the wall running is a big selling aspect of the game as well, and they feature a lot of cool puzzles and secret areas to get to, and also they give you a massive plethora of weapons. And I will say that this game gets really intense on a single player campaign. Check this stuff out.
Shutdown frequency at 80%.
So the Titanfall 2 campaign does very well. If you buy this game, you won't be disappointed with it. It does actually deliver, but it's not as strong as the Battlefield 1 campaign, not by a long shot. If this does feature some cool Titan on Titan battles, I'd say it's about 5 hours long, the campaign, but it's nice to have, you know. They've done really well considering it's their first single player edition. Alright, let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this video, and it's the multiplayer for these two games. We're going to start with Battlefield 1. As you can see, Conquest, Domination, Rush, Team Deathmatch and War Pigeon, which is a new addition, which is a kind of like capture the pigeon as quick as you can and release it. You've also got your operations, which is a new addition actually. It's quite cool. It's large scale warfare, two teams battle it out against a range of maps. It's very good. You have your battle packs here, you will know them from the Battlefield series, and you get sort of unlockable puzzle pieces to give you some sort of rare melee options. You do have some different subsections to your weapons as well. These are actually unlocked as you rank up through the game. Some of them can actually be purchased with scraps, which you can see up in the top corner there. They come with some standard skins attached. They're quite cool. They're like legendary, I suppose. There is a bit of an issue with this and me. Character customization and weapon customization is a huge section for me on multiplayer, and I feel that Battlefield has catered for it. It has, okay, and you've got to understand that it's in the World War I canon. But I just feel that I think it's maybe because I'm in and around rank 10. I think I just don't see enough of this stuff. I love the modelling and the way they're all done, and I'm loving the sort of variables. You also have your character class select. You've got support and assault and the sniper and scout, etc. It is very good, but I just don't see enough of it. I remember the skins, the character skins being customizable on Battlefield 4. With this, it's a little bit more strict. It's okay, but it's not, you know, rocking my world, to be honest with you. Okay, so on to Titanfall 2's customization options. They have a lot more fun with this. You probably know that a lot of the talent that developed this game are from Infinity Ward, that worked on the original Call of Duty 4, one of the best competitive first-person shooters ever made for consoles, and you can see that talent here. You've got a wide selection of weaponry, cool futuristic weaponry that's just a lot of fun, and you've got a wide selection of skins to apply to that weaponry. And this also trickles on to perks and sort of class type as well. Your class type changes to what sort of ability you put onto your soldier. Now this also trickles on to the Titans. Now I just think that is bloody awesome. The Titans have some really cool perk windows that you can adjust. You can have sort of turbos and overcores and different shield types and different abilities that you can switch in and switch out that unlock as you use that Titan more. And even better, you have Titan skins. Some of of them are absolutely awesome, and you can have sort of Titan templates, which are like, you know, visuals on the front of the Titan itself. I really loved this idea. I think it's a real incentive to rank up. I love being able to have more options the better I get, to change my appearance in the game and to customize my Titan and my soldier. Definitely Titanfall wins this section. Let's get on to the multiplayer gameplay itself, and holy fucker diddly do, Battlefield 1.
We have lost objective Apples.
The intensity of Battlefield 1's competitive multiplayer mode is like nothing I've ever experienced before. The noise, the graphics, the explosions, the damage physics on the buildings, etc. never ever gets boring. It is such an intense experience on all of the senses, absolutely phenomenal. This game's destruction mechanics, the Frostbite engine and DICE, are the reason I'm into Battlefield. I mean, you can tell they've built this from the ground up. This is a true next-gen Battlefield game. It absolutely shines when it comes to dilapidation and the way buildings crumble and the impact and the reality you have of something firing at you in cover, etc.
We have lost objective Apples.
As you'd expect, vehicles are done incredibly well with this game. This is some footage of me in a 5-man tank. I'm a rear gunner. I love the claustrophobic sort of window that I've got as a viewer here. I'm at the mercy of the driver, but I'm actually defending any attacks from the rear. It's a cool idea. It makes me feel like I'm actually helping.
A flame trooper kit is available near your location.
You also get like random drops in the maps as well. It prompts me that there's a flamethrower kit here. You have increased armor and a really powerful flamethrower. I completely squander this opportunity, but it's cool. You'll be walking around a corner and all of a sudden there'll be like a sentry gun or a powerful weapon available. Battlefield's map variety also performs very well. You have a lot of weather effects coming in, fog and sandstorms, etc. I'm also enjoying a lot of equipment loadouts. You have the bayonet charge and you have the gas mask. It is a very good multiplayer mode, one of the strongest in the Battlefield series. Let's move on to Titanfall 2. This is going to be a really tough one to beat. I want to cover one thing with Titanfall 2 and its servers. What's happening is I, as you'd probably know, live in the Middle East. I'm currently in Dubai, and as you can see here, I've speeded this up to ×8. I'm actually sat in this waiting lobby for a hell of a long time, and look at the amount of players that are available in my region, 189 or something. I think this is not the game's fault. It's due to where I am and the fact that not a lot of people actually own the title. It's causing a bit of a problem with me. I want it to be something that you guys are aware of. If you're in the US or in Europe, I really don't see a problem with this. But if you're in the UAE, like me, just be prepared to wait quite a bit before you go into a game. Game modes and maps are in abundance on this game, and there's two areas it beats Battlefield on. One of them is free-for-all mode, which is an essential for any multiplayer game if you ask me, and another one is a private match mode. You can get in there with your mates, you're not disturbed, you can test out your Titans, you can muck about, you can get your head round the map layout, etc. That's very important for a multiplayer game. So once you actually get into a game, things are bloody epic. I am loving the weapons and the wall running and double jump capabilities. This really flows well and gives a amazing sort of different aspect to the gameplay mechanics themselves. You are never still, you are very fluid, you get to run alongside buildings, you get to scurry in and out of buildings. This is the whole cat and mouse mechanic that this game sort of hangs itself on, and it's either avoiding or going for Titans that are in the map, or just having one-to-ones with other pilots. Pilots are the names of the actual foot soldiers and Titans are the names of the mechs themselves. This is a very, very intense game. It is probably probably one of the most intense first-person shooters I'm currently playing at the moment. I absolutely love it. I'm a big futurist. I love what they've done with all the maps and how they look. It's truly beautiful and such fun to play. I can't stress that enough. It's the fun word.
Beware of rival factions, but keep your eyes on the prize. Remnant fleet reinforcements inbound.
Moving in.
If you've not played this game and watching this footage, you're probably thinking, why are there AI in a multiplayer game and what's all this money stuff all about? Well, I'm migrating to a game mode that I'm quite enjoying called Bounty, and it involves AI being pumped into the map. There's still two teams, you're still against each other, but you have a money counter, and you lose money if you die, and you gain money if you pick off one of these AIs or kill another player character. You then have to rush to a bank, which is put on the map at particular times within the game itself. It's a really cool idea, actually. It brings up a lot of different gameplay aspects.
Critical damage. Take cover.
So let's talk about the Titan gameplay, and this is the game's strongest area. What I mean by that is that it's a brilliant on-foot first-person shooter in its own right as the pilot, but everything changes once you get into your Titan. Your whole mindset has to change because you're looking for other Titans. You're also quite vulnerable from anti-Titan weaponry that the pilots can wield, so you're really on a back foot, but at the same time you're the most powerful thing, you know, in that part of the map. It's a really cool idea, and I didn't play Titanfall 1 as much as I would like to have done because I didn't own an Xbox One. So this is just so much fun for me. I am relishing the idea of the different Titan types, some of their different special moves. You've got trip wires, you've got special smoke, electric smoke that stops the pilots from actually grabbing onto your Titan and forcing their way in. You've also got a Titan that's called Ronin, which has a sword. It's got a melee attack capability. There's so much here. It's amazing, and you know, I think as a closing comment, this game is like two games in one, you know, blended into a single mechanic. The Titans and the pilots are vastly different, but at the same time their interaction with each other in the maps is just so much fun. This is a thoroughly recommended game if you're into if you're like me and you loved Call of Duty 4, but you also love the future vehicle idea and the fact that you have a number of different game modes within one game itself. Okay, so here we go. If you want a cool, futuristic, hark back to Call of Duty 4, awesome customization, robots and multi-layered gameplay within a multiplayer game itself, Titanfall 2 is for you. If you want a really strong campaign, a damn solid campaign, and some historic, gritty realism coupled with some extremely strong multiplayer, go for Battlefield 1.
If I'm gonna die up there.
Come on, let's do this.
You sure you don't want to sit this one out?
Not a chance.